Yeah, and with this company, all of this company, six with this company. Oh, that's right, you went on one. So we're really excited to join you. There's your future travel buddy one day. Anyway, so I want to get to know Christian as well. Director, I guess is what it is. And he's going to kind of talk to you if you have any questions. I do call information after he talks to you with and things like that, the weather, recommendations. Questions, we'll be covering several things on that. All right, Christian, it's yours whenever you're ready. I've got you up here on the big screen so they can see you.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Can you guys already see me?
Hang on. Can y'all see him? Can you hear them?
I think so. Let me. Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
Good morning.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I hear you guys. Well done. Guys, well, thanks for joining us on this, what is today, Saturday? Yes, lovely Saturday morning. I'm in Spain at the moment, so forgive me. I'm confused of what time of day it is back in Florida. It's afternoon here. But welcome. Basically, guys, what we want to do today is we want to go over the itinerary, kind of some of the essentials for the Europe trip, the Central Europe trip, and allow you the opportunity to ask any questions that you might have. I'm recording the session, so after it's done, I'll upload it onto YouTube, and I'll send you the link. So if you want to refer back to anything, you can. You don't need to worry about taking too many notes. Guys, I do apologize if there's any background noise. If there's at any point you can't hear me, just shout out and I'll repeat myself. Again, sorry if there's too much background noise. So anyway, let's dive in, and any questions at all, don't hesitate, and we'll get everything taken care of for you. So guys, for the first things first, scroll down here. Can you see my screen okay? Is it sharing all right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you're going to receive this packet, electronic format, and then you'll be able to go through things. So as we know, the morning flight, May 25th, guys, 11 a.m. You're going to be flying from Pensacola to Atlanta to Paris, and Paris to Prague, Czech Republic, one of my favorite cities in Europe. It's absolutely gorgeous, Prague. Berlin and Prague are both fascinating cities. Prague has been, numerous times, has been labeled as one of the world's most beautiful cities and Europe's best preserved city. So it was preserved during World War II. It wasn't bombed because Hitler actually wanted to have that as his base after the war. Now it's back in the hands of the Czechs, and it's an absolutely gorgeous city. You'll feel like you're walking back in time. When you arrive in Prague at 11:30, we'll be waiting for you at the airport. So you'll get your bags, something like that, and you'll come outside, and I'll be waiting for you there with our local guide, Martin. Yeah, you get to know him. On the way back, we're going to be flying out of Prague, and the reason we had to do this, guys, is that flying out of Pensacola tends to be quite expensive, unfortunately, in comparison to some other cities in Florida. And to do a multi-city ticket and leaving back from Berlin was extremely expensive. So we have a round trip ticket out of Prague. But the good news is that we're going to get to go back to Prague on the last day, and we'll get to have the last afternoon and evening of Prague again, and before we fly back to the States. So on the way back home, it's going to be New York to Atlanta, and Atlanta back to Pensacola. So guys, especially on the first flight on May 25th, I encourage you to get to the airport a minimum of 2 hours, but 3 is even better. Build in some cushion in case you have any difficulties with your car, any unexpected delays, etc. Want to make sure that you have plenty of time. You don't have to stress about missing your flight. And I'm sure that with Professor Carey, you guys are going to have like a set meeting location, at the airport, and then you'll be able to go through all together. We're going to be emailing you after this meeting as well, your record locator. And so it's just a 6-digit code, and you'll use that code to print your boarding passes, and then you'll proceed through security and wait for your flight, and then off you go. As always, guys, I recommend packing light, as light as possible. considering it's a week-long trip, especially in Prague. There's a lot of cobblestone, so if you do have a rolling suitcase, that's fine. Just keep in mind that there is a lot of cobblestone, so it can be a little bit challenging when taking it through the streets. The places that we're staying, both of which have elevators, so you'll be good there. But you know, it's common in Europe that a lot of buildings don't have elevators just because of how old they are. So I always recommend to pack light. Now, when it comes to a very important question, should I check my bag or should I not check my bag? Personally, I would carry on. You always know where your bag is, and you don't risk your baggage not arriving. Last year, on an identical trip, we actually had 4 of the travelers whose bags didn't arrive until the 4th day of the trip. One of the travelers' bags didn't arrive at home. It finally arrived at the airport the last day of the program, and we had to ship it back to the States. So it's another reason why, when initially flying over to Europe, that I would suggest that you carry your luggage on the plane with you. And then on the way back, you know, if you have souvenirs, things like this, that you feel free to check it out. Again, this is only a suggestion, but I don't want you to be one of those travelers that we had in that situation from last summer. On the good note, they did get to go shopping in Berlin and buy a new wardrobe for a few days, so that could be on the positive side. But here's all the dimensions and everything. Double check that with the airline. But this is taken directly from their website. Go ahead. It's a little hard to hear me. All right, 1 second. How about now? Can you hear me better? Okay, cool. I'm going to try to speak as close to the microphone as possible. Is it better like that? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Is that okay? Much better. Okay, perfect. What was the last part that you heard? Okay, yeah. So double check these dimensions. We already took them from the website, but just double check as well. And then when you go home, look at your baggage and you can determine if it's carry-on size or not. Again, these are only suggestions, but I already told you why it's a good suggestion. You can decide for yourself what you'd like to do, okay? Now, guys, travel check is very important. If you haven't already, you need to get a passport as soon as possible, okay? Does everybody have a passport? Yeah, any hands in the room saying no passports?
No, everyone has passports.
Excellent. All right. We're going to be sending you guys an email to complete your medical forms, as well as an email for electronic signature. That will be the release form, just a standard release form. You'll receive that next week. Okay, so you just you'll review, you'll hit sign, and it'll be good. Make sure, you guys, you have a ride to and from the airport on the day of arrival, and then the day that you come back into the States, make sure you have someone to pick you up, and provide your this itinerary and everybody to your loved ones, so that way they know where you are and when you are. Very important on the checklist, guys, is that you notify your bank that you're going to be out of the country. If you don't notify them the countries that you're going to be in and the dates that you're going to be in those countries, they may block your debit card. So therefore, you won't be able to get local currency out. I do suggest that you bring a debit card instead of bringing U.S. cash, because the exchange rates are not favorable. It's not in the best interest for you. And the best thing that you could do is to use a debit card, withdraw directly from a local ATM, local cash. So in the Czech Republic, they use the crown, the Czech crown. Last time I checked, it was $1 US to 20 Czech crowns. I'll double check that again, but that's kind of been standard for the last couple of years. And then in Germany, in Berlin, where we are, they're going to be using the euros. So currently, as of today, $1 equals 88 euro cents. That is the best, the closest that the dollar has been to the euro since the beginning when the Euro started. So right now is an excellent time to be traveling in Europe. Okay. Now, say that again. I'm sorry.
When I went years ago, it was 1.5
Right. Exactly. So it's very close. It's a great deal now. Guys, make sure that the debit cards that you do bring, that they are the ones that have your spending money on it. Okay. We've had the situation in the past. European chargers, guys, you can go online, just type in European adapters, so that way you'll be able to plug your electronics in the wall. Now, they do have a different voltage, okay? So you need to make sure that when you bring your electronics, that your charger clearly says that it can handle between 100 and 210, okay? Most electronics, modern electronics made within the last, I would say, 5 years, have that built-in converter into the charger. But confirm it before you plug it in the wall. The things that we have the most, cases with where where basically the device will get fried are hair straighteners and blow dryers, because those tend to suck the most energy. So I would suggest not bringing those, especially from home, because those tend to get fried from the States. And we can check and see if they have anything available for you at the hotel and hostel that we're staying at. Most places do have those nowadays for this exact reason. It's cheaper to buy a few and have them down at the reception instead of having to constantly fix the electric system. So double check your electronics prior to going over, that it does clearly say that it can handle 100 to 210. Okay, and they do have different plugs, guys, so you will need a European adapter. You can buy these at Walmart, at Target, at Radio Shack, if Radio Shack even exists anymore, any places like that, or you can order on Amazon. It'll come directly to your house. Okay. Do we have any questions on that? Electronics, electricity, voltage. Any questions in the room? Okay, cool. Because I can't see everybody. All I see is the white wall, so I can't see if there's any questions. So I'll just ask you, and you let me know.
I'll turn it around so you can see some people. I still probably won't be able to let you see everyone, but.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So if anybody has any questions, you can just jump in front of the camera, okay? I'm actually excited because I'm going to get to meet all of you in person. I'll be with you on the trip in addition to our local staff. So I look forward to meeting all you guys. Again, my favorite part of Europe, Central Europe. So accommodation, both of these places are very cool. Meet Me 23 is actually almost, it's almost like, I know, Ms. Myers, you'll be very into this, as it's a very artsy, it's almost like an art museum, modern art museum gallery, the whole hotel. So it's very cool. Check it out online. It's called Meet Me 23. And then you have Generator Hostel Berlin, and the generators are always great. So you guys are going to get to meet international travelers from all over the world while we're there as well, in the places that we're staying. So they're modern, they're clean, they're safe, they're very cool. And I've stayed at both of these. I'm confident that you'll like them very much. Pass this information on to your parents, friends, loved ones, whoever, so that way if they need to get a hold of you, they know where you're staying and they have the local contact number. Okay? Say that again. I'm sorry. Could you come a little bit closer to your microphone? Oh yeah. You're gonna receive this all in a PDF. Yeah, you got it. So program the local guides, tour leaders. We have Franziska in Berlin. She's awesome. We've been working with her for well over 5 years. Martin Jozek, again, amazing guide, local. Each of these guys are, Franziska, she's 100% local Berlin. Martin's 100% local Prague. I've been working with Martin for well over 5 years as well. These guys are great guides, and they're going to show you the best of both of their cities in the time that we have. You guys here, you have emergency hotline numbers. You can save all of this information too. Just download the PDF onto your phone if you can. Most people have smartphones nowadays, so download it on your phone and you'll have access to everything that we're going over just within a few clicks, okay? So guys, now the exciting part. I'm gonna go over the itinerary with you and then we'll open it up for Q&A, okay? So Saturday, you're gonna be flying overnight to Prague, Czech Republic. There's a 7-hour time difference, okay? You guys are on Central Time, is that right? Okay, cool. Yeah, so 7-hour time difference between you and Europe. So when you arrive, you'll be a little bit jet lagged. That's normal the first day, but we're gonna keep you caffeinated and entertained throughout the whole day. So that way you can have the best night's rest that first night in Prague. Upon arrival, we'll pick you up at the airport. We'll drop the bags at the hotel, and then we'll do a historical walking tour of Prague. Prague is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Old Town Stare Mesto. It's absolutely gorgeous, I mentioned before. We're going to bring the city to life for you. Walking tours normally around 2 to 3 hours. Very informative, lots of great stories, very entertaining. It will not be a boring history lesson, but you're going to see the best of Prague that first afternoon. And then that night, we're going to take you for a traditional Czech welcome dinner, okay? And then, like I said, you guys will be completely exhausted after dinner, and then you'll sleep very well. And the next morning, you'll be adjusted. Yeah. So, as this is a cultural but also a service learning program, we have built in some quality service learning projects for you. Now, Europe in general, especially in Central Europe, sometimes it can be more of a challenge to find quality service learning projects in comparison to some other parts of the world that are in much greater need. In Latin America, for example, or in Africa, or parts of Asia, or even at home in the United States. So we found some great organizations to team up with, and I'll tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing. So every morning we start off with breakfast and day briefing. You guys will have breakfast at the hotel where we're staying. We'll talk about the day, what you need, things like this, and then we'll head out to the town to get started. So the first day we're going to be working in the community gardens. The community that we're going to be working with is it's a care center for people with mental illnesses. They're in great need of ground maintenance. We're going to be working there, get our hands in the dirt, leaving our beautiful bin prior to our arrival. And we're going to talk a lot about the local projects there and what they do there. We'll spend probably around 3 to 4 hours in the garden areas, as well as a few other projects, general kind of maintenance kind of things. But yeah, everyone will have a chance to get involved. It'll be great. And it's in a very beautiful area of Prague. So we'll have lunch after that. And then in the afternoon, we'll take you to either the National Museum or the museum of your choice. There's 2 museums next to each other, so you can decide which one is more of interest for you, okay? The next day, we're going to go for Castle Hill. When you're in Prague, guys, there's 2 main areas that you definitely need to see. There's the Old Town, which we're going to visit on the first day, and then there's Castle Hill, okay? So we're going to spend the whole day, the whole first half of the day visiting Castle Hill in the morning, and then we'll visit the very famous Charles Bridge. And then after that, we'll have lunch again. And then the afternoon, we have the unique experience that we're going to have the community cooking classes with refugees who are professional chefs in their former countries, but moved to Czech Republic due to wars happening in their own country. So they're asylum seekers / refugees that are in the Czech Republic. We team up with this organization to do community cooking with them, to also provide them professional work where they were cooks back home. Now they're able to share their recipes and their culture through their passion of cooking and sustain themselves financially through providing local authentic meals to groups like us and other visitors in the community. So that'll be a very eye-opening and beautiful experience. And in addition to cooking with the refugees and getting to enjoy the food, we're also going to hear a lot about their stories and the country and the culture, their culture, where they're from, and kind of hear receive a lot of information that we might not hear back home with our own media. So I've done this personally. It was extremely eye-opening. You guys will really enjoy the experience, and of course, you'll enjoy the local dishes and cuisine. Give me just 1 second. I want to make sure I can plug into the charger. 1 second. I still have a good 6%, but I don't want to risk it going black on us. So, guys, each evening when we're around, we're going to be giving you local tips and suggestions, the best things to do in the city, as well as I'd like to take you to a few, Martin and I would both like to take you to a few of our local favorite spots. Prague has absolutely outstanding viewpoints, and during this time of year, the sunset's quite late enough where we can go and we can see absolutely gorgeous sunsets and see the entire city from some of the best viewpoints and parks. So each evening I'm going to give you tips like that, suggestions like that, and I want to show you kind of more of the less known, authentic parts of town, so you can have a deeper connection with the city. The following morning, on Wednesday the 29th, we're going to be taking we're going to be transferring to Berlin. It's about a 4-hour drive. There will be bathroom stops along the way. There will be beverages and food and things like this that you can buy. But we're going to transfer to Berlin, and then same thing. Once we get there, we'll drop the bags off. We'll have our orientation walking tour, and then we'll take you for a very authentic Berlin welcome dinner. The following day, guys, after the Berlin welcome dinner, we're going to say bye to Martin, that first morning, and then we'll be meeting Franziska. Franziska will take over in Berlin. On Thursday, May 30th, we're going to have, like every morning, breakfast debriefing, and then we're going to go for the Berlin Historical and Cultural Walking Tour. This is great because you're going to see a lot of locations that you've heard, especially in more kind of contemporary history, World War II history, and things like that. So Hitler's bunker, the Brandenburg Gate, of course, Checkpoint Charlie, for the Cold War. Thank you so much for the Cold War and, times of communism. And, the university where Albert Einstein used to teach. So, Berlin is packed full of history from all the way World War II, all the way through the Cold War, and obviously, pre-history through medieval times, etc. So it's going to be an incredible walking tour. It's about 3 hours. So we need is it's going to be a 3-hour walking tour, and then in the after lunch, we're going to head to Sachsenhausen concentration camp, which we're going to find out a lot more about the darker side of, Nazi Europe and the Holocaust, to learn more about the concentration camp that's located just outside of Berlin. Same thing in Berlin, guys. In the evenings, we're going to give you tips, suggestions, areas to go explore. You'll either go with myself or with Franziska to see these districts and areas, or you'll be able to go off on your own, obviously in pairs or triples, whatever the professor chaperones deem is the best idea, and then we'll be able to, and you'll be able to have that free time for cultural immersion as well. Yeah. The next day, for one of our service learning activities in Berlin, we're actually going to have a walking tour that is led by refugees who have come from either Iraq, Syria, or other locations that have in the Middle East that they had to leave due to war. And they've made Berlin home over the past 10 to 5 years. and we're actually going to have walking tours led by them to find out about the different districts and areas in Berlin that have communities of refugees, and also to see the city through the eyes of a refugee, and to better understand the situation that and the environment and the industry and the life that they've lived and the struggle that they've had coming over to Europe. And you'll see basically, it's very informative. They're going to show you basically the route that they took, leaving Syria all the way to arriving in Berlin. The organization that started it is, they've been nominated for many awards for innovative startups and providing work opportunities for people in need. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna have to move real quickly to find another plug. Give me 1 sec, guys. Just a second. You guys are gonna see me moving. 1 sec. Thank you. Super. 1 sec, guys. Okay, perfect. I'm plugged in now. Okay, can you guys still hear me okay? Good deal. Guys, can you still hear me okay? Hello? Yeah? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So, after we do the walking tour that's led by the Syrian refugees, we'll have lunch free time, and then in the afternoon we'll be going to Museum Islands. And Museum Islands basically has 4 museums that you can go and, yeah. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to come closer to the mic, guys. I cannot hear you. All right. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, guys, I apologize for the background noise. This is the only place I can be at right now. So if you can, just turn me up as loud as possible. If you possibly can. Can you hear me okay clearly now? Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your patience. So, Museum Island in the afternoon. There's 4 museums you can choose from. You guys go whichever museum that interests you the most. And then that evening, we are going to a professional restaurant that every staff member in the restaurant is a former refugee from Syria. And it's outstanding. It's top class food. You can read about the reviews online. It's called and real reviews. It's outstanding. You'll find out a lot more about the reality of what's been going on in Syria the last 10 years, as well as their story, and a lot more information about the food and cuisine of the region. Okay.
We can't hear you hardly at all. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just give me 1 second to find another plug. Let's see. How's the noise now? Can you hear me?
About the same.
Because right now there's hardly anyone speaking around me. Is it clear now?
It's better.
Okay, great.
I don't know what we're picking up on it somewhere else. I don't know. It's weird, but okay. But yeah, I think if you speak like closer to the mic, we tend to hear you better.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, of course. So, where did you guys last hear me? The Museum Island? Okay, perfect. So, Museum Island, 4 museums. You can be able to choose whichever museum that you like the most. And then that evening, we're going to the award-winning Kreuzberg-Himmel. This is a restaurant that was started in 2016, and the entire staff is Syrian refugees. They're professional chefs back home. They left, obviously, due to the war, and they started a restaurant, and an organization started a restaurant for them so they could carry on with their professions. And you read about it online. It's incredible. It's a beautiful story, and the food is exceptional. And you're going to find out a lot more about. 1 second. Can you guys hear me okay? Perfect, great, excellent. Lots of surprises in the meeting. I apologize, guys. So back to where we were. Kreuzberger Himmel this evening is going to be spent, like I said, with at the restaurant hosted by the Syrian refugees. Okay. The following morning, breakfast and day briefing, and then we're going to be headed back to Prague. And then that afternoon, you guys will have free time in Prague to explore on your own, or again, join Martin and I for some of our suggestions for some of the paddle boats, etc., on the river. Okay. That evening, we'll have our farewell check dinner, and we'll have our program closing, and then the following morning, we will be flying back to Florida. So this is the itinerary, guys. It's going to take place throughout the week. And now I would like to allow you guys to ask any questions that you might have, so that way we can go over, we can make sure everyone's prepared.
What's the weather typically like?
Yeah. The weather, well, it really depends, but it will be sunny. You could expect probably mid-70s. In the evening, you probably want a little jacket for sure. But what I would suggest to do is to double check the weather prior to traveling. Light jacket will be fine, and then you can just dress with layers and take off as you need, put on as you need. It tends to be in the mid-70s. No. Yeah. No. Did you say the 40s or 50s?
Yeah, I looked it up online on AccuWeather, but I was
right now it's cold. Right now they have a cold front in Czech and Slovakia, but typical in the end of May is definitely not 40s, 50s. It's going to be mid-70s, and then in the evening it may be a little bit cooler. But again, guys, you need to dress for anything within that range. You're not going to have snow or anything like that, but it can be from, if you're in the sun, to where you're wearing a t-shirt, to possibly needing a jacket if it's an overcast day. And of course, umbrella and things like this as well, right? And very important, guys, this will be added as well in here. You'll have your packing list for the trip, but very important that you bring comfortable walking shoes, okay? Because we're going to be walking a lot. So make sure you have comfortable walking shoes and that they're broken in.
Correct me about this if I'm wrong. In Berlin, it's very common for people to wear sneakers. I know it wasn't quite as dressy as like in Spain.
Yeah, for sure. So both Berlin and Prague are very casual. Yes. Yeah. When we do go to these dinners, so guys, I would recommend that wear probably jeans or something like that instead of shorts. But during the day, whenever we're walking around and everything like that, of course shorts and are completely fine. But whenever we go for the dinners, I would suggest probably wearing like jeans or something like that. Again, not fancy, but a step above, shorts.
Are there any
This is just did you ask if there's any other schools going?
So any dress code limitations?
No. The you mean like, for example, if when you're visiting a Catholic church, for example, or a cathedral, and you need to make sure that your shoulders and your knees are covered and all that? Yeah, no. Czech Republic is extremely liberal, as well as Germany. They actually have the largest amount of atheists in the world per capita. So yeah, really no. There's no restrictions like that whenever you go into the churches and
Well, they're not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You guys can send me questions directly. If you come down here, you'll be able to. I'll make sure you have my email address in the follow-up email that we send you. And as well as, if you see this email here, reservations team, you can send any emails you have right here, okay?
I do have a question, but I posted it in the chat.
Do you want me to open up the chat?
Oh, it's up to you. I can ask out loud.
Yes, go ahead.
In some places that I've stayed in Europe, we had access to laundry facilities. Is that going to be the case? It just changes the way I pack.
Yeah, what I will do, there are laundry facilities, and what I'll do is I'll find out where is the nearest to the hotels where we're staying at, what are the best options for you. It's, you know, a lot of times we have, they're more normally the laundry facilities in Europe, you do it on your own, opposed to in some other parts of the world where you just give it to them and then they wash it, fold it, and give it back to you the following day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I grew up in Germany.
Okay, gotcha, exactly. I'll confirm for you, but there actually might be machines in the hotels where we're staying.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Last call. Any questions? No. Okay. I think no questions. We're good. Covered it well.
Guys, thank you so much for your patience with the background noise. I apologize. We had to be out of the apartment earlier today. I will send you all of this in a PDF, and along with your record locators and everything that you might need. And if you have any questions at all, you can email us here at reservationsteamsaa@gmail.com and get excited because we'll be seeing you in a month and 2 weeks, and I'll be waiting for you at the airport.
Okay, wait,
Awesome.
we have one question. We have one. Hang on, Renee has a question.
For the hospitals that we have, like,
Let me double check on the towels. Last year they had towels available for you.
Okay.
Yeah. And then worst case scenario, you can rent a towel from the downstairs reception, but I will confirm on laundry and towels. All right.
All right.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Hey, you have a love.
Everybody say bye to Christian.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next month. Bye bye.
Great. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye, Cecilia.
Bye.
We'll see
You bet.